And did he start making, what age did he start making movies then?
Well, you know, it wasn't until he went over to Nottingham, because like we left that drama course, you know, we didn't last very long. Right. And we formed a band, and then we were on the dole for a year, and that was obviously, that was horrendous. So we had all our full spectrum. We ended it in a year. We'd done from Please Please Me to fucking Let It Be in 12 months, and we were all didn't like, you know, the look of each other and all that by the end of it. So we sort of went our separate ways, and then Shane went over to Nottingham, and that's when he started making his short films. Yeah, I think he got kicked out in there.
So would he be the main reason you're an actor?
He's the absolute reason I'm an actor, because I gave it up. I actually, when I went on this drama course, what happened was, you know, when I was younger, strangely enough, when I was younger, I was more of a show-off. When I wanted to be on stage a bit more when I was younger. I get terrified before, I'm really nervous. I actually enjoyed the fact that at school I was a bit of a handful, you know, to a point. And then when I started to knuckle down, I kind of had a couple of teachers that really encouraged me. And I enjoyed the fact that they were like, he's turning himself around, you know, and I got a buzz out of that. So I thought, I'm going to be an actor, and it's all I wanted to be. And then when I got to college, it was just it was in its early stage, very unorganised place, and not productive, I've got to say, in some instances. Yeah, and I don't want to damn it, you know, but just this certain place we were in, where we were in time, you know. I remember even then, me and Shane made a little cop movie called The Shoemakers, and this is pre-Sabotage, Beastie Boys, you know, where they're all 70'd up. We did this one called The Shoemakers, and we showed it to them, and, you know, I won't name names, but one or two of the lecturers sort of just looked at them, you know, like, yeah, okay, now get on with your work, sort of thing. And I thought, fucking hell, what a missed opportunity, because we didn't have that person at that point saying, what are you doing? People think you're just a couple of twats in wigs, but if you start refining it and doing what you're doing, you could make a load of these. We didn't have any of that. It was just like, yeah, all right, lads, now put the fucking camera away and we'll read Stanislavski, you know. And it sucked the life out of me, to be perfectly honest. I just thought, if this is what it's about, then I don't want to know.
You want to get out.
Yeah. So I left, but to come back to you, because I'll digress a lot.
I've got to complain anyway.
Stupid. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I did my photography degree, and I made a short film about these ex-boxers, which I'd never put out. They're all old guys in their 60s, you know. It was a lovely little extension of the picture I'd taken. And I was trying to edit it, and I couldn't. You know, I had too much material and no idea what to do. And Shane was helping me with it a little bit. And he'd done 24/7, and we got back together again. And as soon as we got back together, the like chemistry started, and the messing around, the ideas, the characters, and what have you started coming out. That we'd had naturally back when we were 18, you know, this rapport. And he was helping me one day, and he just said, "Man, I've got a part in my new film, and I can't cast it." And I was like, "Oh," and he goes, "I want you to play it, have a go at it." And I went, "Oh, fuck that," you know.
So he had, that's my question, he had written that role, that wasn't the character you came up with?
No, I'll tell you about that. He said, I've got this role. At the time, that character was called something else, and he was in about half a dozen scenes, and he was just a normal townie kid, you know, just a normal, like, he was actually the boyfriend of the Ladine character in the movie, you know, and it was a totally different sort of dynamic. But I auditioned for it, because he said to me, you know, the reason why I want you to do it is if you have a go at it, and it don't work, don't worry, you know, we'll sack it. He said, well, just have a go, because, you know, I know the reason why you gave up wanting to be an actor, you know. And he said, you sort of let people undermine you. And he goes, I just want you to just at least explore it and see if there's anything. And so I did audition. And I remember I went in the room for Romeo and the Brass. Oh, that worked in actually. And there was me, I was there, and Shane was there, the casting one. There's about 20 kids from the Nottingham workshop. And I had to improvise with them. I've never improvised, ever. I mean, ever. And it was like, sorry?
You're good at it.
Yeah, it seemed to work, you know. The guys came and the first kid sat down and Shane was like, your scenario is, gave us a scenario, and he went, right, off you go. And I just went, look, and like, I don't even know what happened. I've never had it since, just this, I don't even know where it all came from, to be perfectly honest.
Because I remember seeing it for the first time and really being blown away by it, and not knowing whether you were the character, or do you know what I mean, you were an actor, or whether that's just the thing you did.
Well, no, he wasn't on the page like that at all.
It's very idiosyncratic though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he developed, because like, that's the most extensively I've ever workshopped a film from Romeo Brass. And we did lots of rehearsals and we became quite a little family, you know, together. And morale started growing. Shane said something to me early on. He says, you know, you earn your screen time. And I was referring to some actors in 24/7, you know,
yes,
going through and I went, and that resonated with me. I thought, I get it. So the more you go in and the more you can. Well, that actual character, his voice, mannerisms, everything about him, didn't come to place until about 5 days before we started shooting.
Really?
And we'd had like 3 months on and off of rehearsing on weekends here and there.
Should we look at the clip?
Yeah. Get rid of that fucking man.
This is your introduction.
To Scarborough Fair. I love you more than my old puppy dog. I'll cherish every moment I know you. Just check in and see how your brother is.
Romeo? That's fine, it's not bothered about it anymore.
Seems like a tough kid, doesn't he?
Yeah, if you want to see it.
I'd like to.
Got my cup of tea then?
Yeah, I'd like to, please. It's my imagination, because I've got a very, very fueled imagination. And I thought you're being silly, and go back to sleep, so I went back to sleep. And about another 40 minutes later, this thing come again and it pushed me. And this time, it not only pushed me, it did it so hard, it made me do a roly-poly over. And I knew there and then that there was a spirit in the room, and it was trying to attack me. So what unfolded then was this fight between me and this unseen entity, and it ended up trying to, it pinned me down on the floor. It got on top of me, like with its knee on my chest, and it was trying to open the mouth like that. It was like that. Oh, that's why I said to die. But then all of a sudden, it just disappeared. Like that. Quick as it could, it disappeared. And I realised then, I don't know if God became involved in it, or if it was just my stamina and strength alone and my faith. But I believe that I fought an entity, a spirit, my demons. I believe that I fought him, and I won.
Well, it's probably like getting ready for work. Is it still raining outside?
I can give you a lift if you like.
Shane's scripts, I mean, they were written, that was written, but what percent of improv was in?
That was all improvised.
That all improvised?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how is it working, improvising with the kids on that film, which is, some actors are really good at it, some aren't?
Yeah, well they were great.
They were great.
Yeah, Andrew was fun. I've never worked with any, I'm lucky enough, I've never worked with any bad kids. You know.
And is that because Shane worked with them individually a lot beforehand, or are they just?
Yeah, there's always that with Shane, and it's not even working with them in terms of sort of gearing them up to perform. He just pulls out their best qualities, you know. Like Andrew, him and Andrew had a lot in common, you know. Like motorbikes and all that, and whatever they got into. But you know, they're still mates now. Shane's unique. He sort of he just creates a world. You know, I was having this conversation that we were talking about yesterday. It's like good directors will create a world that you sort of feel free in, you know, and brave. And a good director will make you feel creative. You know, the best performances I've ever done, the best films I've ever done, have always been with good directors, and they make you go home at the end of the day feeling like you've done a day's work or you've done something creative. There's a moment or moments happen on set that you didn't think about. Because I'm not really scholarly, I can't plan for things, you know.